Children from the early 1980s remembered not being allowed to walk to school, not playing outside, being told to beware of strangers, vans, bridges, the dark. Fear had become their language. In black churches across Atlanta, pastors called for peace, accountability, and vigilance. The pulpit became a place not just of mourning, but of activism. The murders became a cautionary tale taught in schools, whispered in homes, and passed down from parents to children. For many Atlantans, the era was defined by silence, not just the silence of missing children, but the silence that followed. The unanswered questions, the cases closed without trial, the names forgotten by those outside the neighborhoods. Local journalists tried to keep the story alive. A few victims' parents dedicated their lives to community safety and youth outreach. But by the late 1990s, the Atlanta child murders had largely faded from national conversation until the city decided to take another look, questions that never die. In March 2019, nearly 4 decades after the first body was found, Atlanta's newly elected mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, made an announcement.
Reopened an investigation into a very, very dark series of crimes in Atlanta. I think it was between 79 and 81, in which, gosh, it's hard to even say this, 28 children, teens, and adults with disabilities were all murdered. An Atlanta native named Wayne Williams was arrested, tried, and convicted in 2 of the killings, but that leaves in my math 26 unsolved murders. So in the reopening of this investigation, have you discovered anything new so far?
The city would reopen the investigation into the Atlanta child murders. Modern forensic technology, including advanced DNA analysis, had come a long way since 1981. Bottoms said the city owed it to the victims and their families to see if the truth could be revisited, confirmed, or uncovered anew. She said, "It may not bring complete closure, but it may bring a small sense of peace, and it may validate the pain that has been carried by this community for far too long." The initiative included retesting biological evidence from open and closed cases, re-examining the fiber evidence used to convict Williams, compiling a public digital archive of victims and case files, holding community forums to gather oral history and renewed testimonies. For some, it felt too little, too late. Others, however, felt a long overdue reckoning had begun. Wayne Williams, still incarcerated, welcomed the reopening. He offered to provide DNA samples. He reiterated his innocence, writing in a public letter, "If the science can prove I did this, so be it. But if it clears me, will the world finally listen?" As of